Ladies and gentlemen, we have some really crazy stuff to look at today. First of all, we got our first image of the event that is going to happen with the mid-season update next week that is now called 80s Action Heroes. And as you can see from this, it's going to include Die Hard, it is going to include Rambo, and there's rumors of it including Terminator, but as you can see from this image, you can't really see that yet. We're going to dive into that in a little bit, but we also have Thursday, which means update day. And as far as today's update go, we got stuff for Black Ops Cold War, we have stuff for Warzone, we have new store items, we have a new operator, we have a new gunfight tournament, we have a really crazy playlist in Black Ops Cold War. So in other words, there's a bunch to go over here. What we're going to do is start out with Black Ops Cold War, its new playlist, new store items, stuff like that. Then we're going to have a look at the 80s Action Heroes event. And then after that, we're going to dive into Warzone and Modern Warfare. But without further ado, let's start it off with Black Ops Cold War. So moving into the new playlist update, as far as what we have here is first off, 12v12 Mosh Pit. This is one of the weirdest playlists that I have ever seen in a Call of Duty game because it is 12v12, but just on the normal 6v6 maps, including the small ones like Nuketown. And some of these are going to be absolutely insane. Some of the maps I actually think are going to play a lot better with 12v12, but Nuketown is just going to be bananas. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays. Now, on top of this, we have a new gunfight tournament, but when you go to the rewards, you can see that it has been updated because there's a bunch of new maps that have been added to it, like Ubon, ICBM, KGB, Game Show, Diesel. These weren't all in there in the previous gunfight tournament, but the interesting thing is, as you can see, the only rewards that I'm currently getting for it are XP. So I don't know if it's broken, if that's all the rewards are for this week. Scratch that, it actually updated as I was making the video, so it just kind of went live a little bit after the update actually went live. So like I said before, the maps are updated, you can see them there. And then the rewards, we have an emblem calling card, which I can't quite tell what it is, weapon charm, and then finally a weapon blueprint. Now, the weapon blueprint is for the AUG, and unfortunately the AUG has been nerfed to the ground in Warzone, so really not the best weapon to win, but if you're going for the blueprint, as you can see, you can now unlock it. Now, after this, we also have Party Games Mosh Pit, which includes Sticks and Stones, Gun Game, and of course, Prop Hunt as well. We also have Snipers Only Mosh Pit, Nuketown 24/7, which, as we've talked about, at this point is basically a staple playlist, and then Gunfight Blueprints, Face Off, and then Fire Team Mosh Pit. Aside from this, nothing crazy update-wise, but we do have some new store items. So a bunch of these actually came out earlier this week, including the Antonov Operator Bundle. So this is the new Operator, and with it, you get his Meltdown skin, which honestly is a pretty cool-looking skin. Kind of reminds me of Firebreak from Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. After this, you get two different weapons. First off, the AUG. This one is the Toxic Contaminant. Looks pretty cool, and we also get the KSP variant as well. It's unfortunate that neither of these weapons really are any good anymore within Warzone, but if you play Black Ops Cold War, some of these might be useful. After this, you also get a watch, which is kind of like a Geiger counter almost, which is kind of cool. And then on top of that, gesture, vehicle skin, calling card, emblem, and weapon charm. The other one that we have is the Tracer Tropical Pack, and as far as this one goes, basically you get three different weapons with it: the sniper rifle, the submachine gun, and then finally the pistol. Most of these are pretty cool, and then on top of this, you also get a finishing move as well. So nothing too crazy this week, but it is good to see the new operator added into the game. So moving on to the stuff that is coming next week. So the first thing that we have is what we talked about before, the 80s Action Heroes event, which looks super, super cool. Now, the first thing that I noticed when I saw this kind of image is up in the top left-hand corner, you can see that this is across Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, and Call of Duty Mobile, which is kind of interesting because I don't think we've had one on the mobile game and Black Ops and Warzone all in the same event at the same time, which is going to be interesting to see how that actually plays out. Now, based off of the image, we know that we are getting, of course, Rambo. That is the big character. And then the other one that we have is Die Hard. You can see Nakatomi Tower out in the background there. And there's no sign of Bruce Willis, aka John McClane, as of yet, but I'm sure we'll see that going forward. So I would expect to see some more information coming up on this potentially tomorrow, but more likely early next week, Monday or Tuesday. And when we get that, I will keep you guys updated. Now, the other thing that we got over the past couple of days is a couple of Zombies teasers. Now, the first one that we have here is this blueprint that you are looking at, and you can see a couple of sticky notes, one from M and one from R, potentially referring to Eddie or Richtofen. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it is interesting. Second one that we got is this note on a piece of paper. I'm not exactly sure what most of this is referring to. Now, originally when I saw this, I thought they were hinting at a new Zombies map, but then I saw some people saying, no, this is for some new Outbreak Easter egg. I don't know the answer, and if you have some opinions on it, feel free to let me know down in the comments because I would love love to hear what you guys are thinking, because to be quite honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. So as far as Warzone goes, really nothing special here this week. As far as Battle Royale goes, quads, trios, duos, solos are the playlists. I have to say this every single week. No buyback modes, no stimulus, no more gulags, more problems. None of the playlists that I actually really like, which is super unfortunate, and I'm still waiting around for them to add those back. Now, we also have a Rebirth, Resurgence, Quads, Mini Royale, and then Plunder Blood Money, which is interesting this week, because if you read the description, it says teams of 2, so I guess it's duos Blood Money this week, which is kind of interesting. Now, after this, there's really not much else. It's the same store bundles that we saw within Black Ops Cold War, so really not too much to talk about here. The one thing I did want to talk about, though, is once again the 80s Action Heroes event. This is taking place in Warzone, and if you look in the background, it looks as though they may be adding a new skyscraper into Warzone. I'm not sure whether that's going to be in the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale, though, or whether that's actually going to be in Warzone. It is very difficult to tell simply based off of this image. What I do know is that this event will be in Warzone, and there'll be some sort of event like we saw with the Hunt for Adler, where you have to do certain things and then probably unlock either a character skin or weapon blueprint. The other thing I'm not sure about is when we look at Rambo, I don't know if that's going to be a skin of an existing character, for example Adler, or whether it's going to be its own operator in and of itself. We'll have to wait and see. And then for those of you who are still playing Modern Warfare, what we have this week is Boots on the Ground War, which is personally my favorite Ground War playlist. Also, Gunfight, Shoot the Ship is still here, so for those of you who are still playing the game, you're probably very happy about this one. And then Cranked Gunfight 3v3, Cabin Fever, and then finally Search and Destroy Double Down, which is again one of my favorite playlists. So if you're playing Modern Warfare still, these are some of my favorite playlists, which is good to see them around. So that is basically this week's update. Really nothing too crazy. There's some interesting playlists in Black Ops Cold War, especially that 12v12 one. Let me know what you guys think of that one. But of course, next week we have that 80s Action Heroes event coming. I don't know as of yet if that is going to be the mid-season update, but I'm guessing it is, because that's when they are teasing the zombies for as well. So we'll get more information probably early next week on that. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. I'm super curious to see what all of these events are actually going to be, how they're going to work into the game, if they're going to work them into the story. And of course, as we find out, I will keep you guys updated. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so, turn notifications on, all of that jazz. That has been this week's update. As per usual, I'd love to hear what you guys think about down in the comments. My personal opinions on it, it's kind of small, nothing crazy happening this week, but it seems as though they're just trying to kind of amp us up for what is to come next. And keep in mind, we still have that Battle Royale mode that is going to be in Black Ops Cold War coming potentially next week. But yeah, like I said, I'll keep you guys updated. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're